She stood in the middle of my ranch road, hands on her hips, yelling like she owned the place. "You can't block this road. It's a public shortcut," she screamed. Her name was Karen, head of the local HOA. And ever since she found out my ranch road connected to the main highway, she'd been sending her neighbors through it like it was their personal driveway. I leaned against my truck, calm as ever. "Ma'am," I said slowly, "this road runs straight through my land. You and your HOA don't have permission to use it." She laughed. That high, smug kind of laugh that makes your blood boil. "Oh, please. I've lived here for 10 years. Everyone uses this road. I even called the county. They said it's public property." That was a lie, and we both knew it. But I didn't argue. Instead, I walked over to the gate, unhooked the chain, and swung it closed right in front of her SUV. Her face turned red. "You can't do that." "I'll call the cops," she yelled, pulling out her phone. I shrugged. "Go ahead." Within 10 minutes, 3 squad cars rolled up, lights flashing across the wheat fields. Karen looked so proud, arms crossed like she'd just won a court case. "Officers," she said loudly, pointing at me, "arrest him. He's blocking a county road." The sheriff stepped out of the lead car. Big guy, cowboy hat, same one I'd known since high school. He looked at me, then at her, and sighed. "Ma'am, you might want to lower your voice." Karen frowned. "Excuse me? I said arrest him." The sheriff adjusted his belt, took a slow look around the land, then turned back to her. "Lady, this isn't a county road." Karen blinked, confused. "What are you talking about? I drive here every morning." He smiled faintly. "That's your first mistake." I stayed quiet, but inside I could feel the twist coming. Because what Karen didn't know, and what the sheriff was about to tell her, was that not only did I own this stretch of road, but according to county records, the HOA's entire entry lane was built on my property line. And I had the paperwork to prove it. Karen's confidence cracked the moment the sheriff asked her to step aside. "Ma'am," he said, his voice calm but firm, "do you have any proof this is county property?" She pulled out a printed map from her purse, one of those cheap online printouts. "Right here, you can clearly see the line." The sheriff squinted at it, then looked at me. "You got your documents?" I nodded and handed him the official county deed, stamped, sealed, and signed 5 years ago. Karen's smirk slowly disappeared as the sheriff unfolded the papers and read the bold letters. "Private access road, registered to Daniel Cooper Ranch." Her eyes widened. "This can't be right. We've been using this road for years." "Exactly," I said quietly. "Trespassing for years." The sheriff raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Cooper, you ever give them permission?" I shook my head. "Never. They cut the fence last spring. I fixed it twice. Then they widened the path and started calling it a community road." Karen's voice trembled now, but her pride wouldn't let her stop. "You can't just close it off now. People need this shortcut. It saves 15 minutes. I took a slow step closer. 15 minutes of convenience doesn't beat 15 acres of my land. She huffed, turning back to the sheriff. "Well then, do something. You're just going to let him block everyone?" The sheriff gave a dry chuckle. "Actually, ma'am, I'm the one who signed off on his private road permit. You've been driving through his ranch illegally." Karen's face went pale. The neighbors who had followed her started whispering behind their car windows. The flashing police lights reflected off the pond nearby, and for the first time, she looked unsure, cornered by her own arrogance. But then she suddenly smiled. "Fine," she said, her voice shifting to something sly. "If that's how you want to play it, I'll take this up with the county board. Let's see how long your little private road stays private." The sheriff frowned. "Ma'am, I'd advise you not to push this any further." But she didn't listen. She got in her SUV, slammed the door, and sped off, tires kicking gravel across my boots. The sheriff turned to me. "She's not done," he said. I nodded. "I know, but neither am I." Because what Karen didn't realize was that I'd already installed motion cameras all along that road, and she'd just been recorded threatening a landowner on private property. 2 days later, I woke up to the sound of engines rumbling outside my barn. When I stepped out, there were 5 pickup trucks lined along the road, blocking the gate I'd just put up. HOA members, all of them. And right in the middle stood Karen, arms crossed, wearing sunglasses like she was leading a protest. "Well, Daniel," she called out, "seems like your private road is causing quite the disturbance in our community." I leaned against the barn door, calm as ever. "That's not my problem, Karen." "Oh, it's about to be," she snapped. "The county board is reviewing your land claim today. I submitted a complaint, and if they agree with me, that road's getting reopened." I didn't say a word. I just watched her talk like she'd already won. The HOA crew started cheering behind her, some even filming it like it was a victory parade. Then, one of them noticed something, a little flashing red light on the fence post. Karen," he said nervously. "What's that?" Karen turned. Her face froze. Every fence post had a small camera mounted on it. I'd set them up 2 weeks ago, when I caught tire marks across my field. I walked over, tapped my phone, and the footage played on my truck's screen. "See this?" I said. "That's you cutting my chain 2 nights ago. And that's your husband moving the cones I set up. That's destruction of private property." The group went silent. Even the engines idled down. Karen's voice dropped. You can't prove that's me." The sheriff's truck pulled up right then, timing so perfect it felt scripted. He got out, nodded at me, and said, "Actually, he can. I already reviewed the footage this morning." Karen's mouth fell open. "What?" "Ma'am, you trespassed again after being warned," the sheriff said firmly. "And cutting a locked gate on private land, that's criminal damage." Her confidence shattered. "This is ridiculous. I'm part of the homeowners association." The sheriff took off his sunglasses. "And I'm part of the law." Everyone stared. No one dared move. Then the sheriff turned to me and said, "You want to press charges?" I looked straight at Karen. "Not yet." I said slowly, "Let's see what else she's planning first." Because deep down, I knew this wasn't over. Karen wasn't the type to back down, and something told me she was about to make a much bigger mistake, one that would expose everything. The next morning, I got a call from a county clerk, a quiet man I'd known for years. "Daniel," he said carefully, "someone just filed new road ownership papers under your parcel number." I sighed. "Let me guess. HOA?" He paused. "Signed by Karen Whitfield herself. Looks like she forged your signature on the bottom." That was it, the final straw. I drove straight to town with a folder full of documents, land deeds, footage, emails, and the sheriff's report. When I walked into the county meeting, Karen was already there, sitting at the front with her HOA board, smiling like a politician. "Ah, Daniel," she said sweetly. "We were just discussing your illegal road closure." I dropped the folder on the table. The papers spilled out. High-resolution stills of her cutting my fence. Copies of the county maps showing my boundary lines. And the recorded call where she bragged to her friend about taking over the road. The room went dead silent. The county commissioner looked at the documents, then at her. Mrs. Whitfield, he said, these are serious allegations. Did you actually forge a signature on county paperwork? P. Karen stuttered. I just wanted to... This whole thing is a misunderstanding. The sheriff stepped through the door, holding a USB drive. Not anymore, he said. We have her on video, signing the fake claim at the HOA office. Cameras caught the whole thing. Her face went white. The board members who came with her started whispering, some even backing away from her chair. The commissioner nodded to the deputies, and within seconds, they were escorting her out. As she passed me, she hissed, "You think this makes you a hero?" I didn't even look at her. "No," I said quietly. "It just makes me free." Outside the courthouse, reporters were already gathering. Word had spread fast. HOA president arrested for forgery and trespassing. The sheriff came up beside me, arms crossed, and said, "Guess she picked the wrong man to mess with." I smiled. Guess she didn't know who owned the road. A week later, I replaced the metal gate with a solid oak one, carved with a sign that read, "Private Ranch Road, Respect Property." Since that day, not a single HOA member has set foot near my fence. And every time I drive down that road at sunset, I remember her yelling, "You can't block this road." And I can't help but smile. Because justice doesn't always need revenge. Sometimes it just needs proof. I didn't fight for this land to be told I can't protect it. That line went viral, and so did the story of the rancher who owned the county road.